My beloved child, your body is not a temporary garment to be worn for a day and then discarded. It is my temple, made holy by the very first breath I gave you. Each time you harm yourself, you unknowingly crack the stones I myself set in place with love. Once, the prophet Elijah, overwhelmed by despair, lay beneath a broom tree and asked to die because he was exhausted. Yet God sent an angel to touch him and say, "Get up and eat, for the journey is too much for you." 1 Kings 1:9-7. That bread and water strengthened him to walk 40 days and 40 nights. The Lord did not condemn his weakness. He restored him through physical care, so that Elijah's soul could once again hear his voice. My child, I did not give you a soul alone. I also gave you a body as an instrument to carry out my will. Your body is not a prison, but a temple, my dwelling place. When you eat carelessly, stay awake through many nights, or treat your health as unimportant, you are quietly trading away the gift I placed in your hands. To love and care for yourself is not selfishness. It is a way of honoring the one who formed you. Learn to live with order. Learn to stop, to rest, to give thanks, for it is within that order that blessing is poured out. Many say, "Tomorrow I will change. Tomorrow I will live more healthily." But my child, tomorrow is the sweetest trap of the lazy heart. When you wait until you are less busy, more stable, time is already slipping past, quietly eroding faith and strength. Today, even one small step is the day I wait for you to act. You do not need great power, you only need obedience. Begin with what is small, and I will do the rest. Healing does not come only through instant miracles. More often it begins with a very small but sincere decision. When you let go of one bad habit, sleep 1 hour earlier, walk to watch the sun rise, or pause to pray, this is where I am quietly restoring you. One right step in the light is worth more than 100 promises in the dark. Do not despise what is small, for every miracle sprouts from simple faithfulness. I tell you, peace is not only a spiritual gift, but also a need of the body. When your soul grows heavy, your body grows weary. When you live in constant tension, your breath becomes short. Learning to rest is an act of faith, not a sign of weakness. In stillness, you will hear me more clearly, see life as lighter, and love others more deeply. And when you live rightly and care for yourself rightly, you become a living witness, because others will see the light of restoration within you and believe that I am still at work in this world. My beloved child, I do not reject you because of the places where you run and hide like this. I only want you to see that all the anesthetics you give yourself do not heal the wound. They only cover it so it can go deeper. I tell you these things not to shame you, but so that you will stop secretly condemning yourself in silence. What I want is not for you to look back on all your bad habits and sink into torment, but for you to dare to bring each of them before me. You can say to me, "Lord, I have abused this body. I have lived carelessly. I have ignored the warning signals. I do not know how to love myself in the way you desire." I hear every confession from you without disgust, without turning away. I have already seen it all. But when you finally speak it out, you begin to step out of the deception that tells you, "It's fine. Everyone is like this." My child, it is precisely when you dare to face your true condition that my healing light finally has room to enter. From that place of recognizing the truth, I call you home. Coming back does not mean turning back time or erasing every consequence, but beginning to walk in the right direction. Starting today, you may not be able to fix everything in a week or a month, but you can set out. You can begin by listening to your body when it is tired. You let it rest when it is hungry. You give it nourishing food when it is tense. You learn to breathe deeply and lay your worries down at my feet. You can practice choosing less of what makes you heavy and more of what helps you stay clear, light, and enduring. You can practice turning off the screen earlier so your sleep can be more complete and your brain can have the space I designed for it. Every small change is another brick you lay back in its rightful place in a temple that has been cracked. Do not think you must be perfect before you dare to bear witness to me or to your own journey of change. It is your in progress. You're still walking. You're still learning that truly touches others, because they are in the same place as you, not flawless, but longing to be made new. When you tell how you once neglected your body but are now learning to honor it as a gift from me, when you share that you once despised sleep but are now training yourself in new rhythms of rest, when you confess that you once ate and drank excessively because of your emotions but are now learning to eat with gratitude and greater awareness, those little details become living lines in the book of your life. And as others read that book, they may recognize themselves in it and quietly ask, if God could do this for them, perhaps He could also do it for me. The day you realize that your body is my temple, not a display piece for beauty, but a place for my presence and my work, you will begin to change the way you make even the smallest choices. You will no longer eat just for fun, sleep just to get through the day, or entertain yourself just to kill boredom, but start to see everything as part of worship. A moderate meal, a sufficient night's sleep, a quiet pause in your day to stop and listen to me. These are all silent hymns offered to me. When you live this way, your body is no longer a burden but an instrument, and your life, though very ordinary, becomes a clear testimony that I am still transforming people from the inside out. My child, I rejoice to see you taking these small steps on this journey, because each step not only saves your temple from being worn down, but turns it into a gentle, steady light for those who are groping in the dark, searching for a way home. I see what is being pressed down inside you, even the things you yourself sometimes choose to ignore just so you can keep running. Every time you worry beyond measure, chemicals in your body pour out like a thin smoke, invisible to the eye, slowly eroding the life within. Your heart beats faster, your breathing grows shallow, your stomach tightens, your sleep turns restless, all of it crying out that you are living in a constant state of fight or flight, even though no wild animal is chasing you in the physical world. I did not create your body to endure unbroken tension day after day. I wove it together with a rhythm of work and rest, of wakefulness and stillness, of giving and being held. When you break that rhythm, you are like someone who keeps striking a drum without ever letting it rest. Eventually, the skin tears and the sound loses its clarity, becoming only a harsh, exhausted pounding. I say this not to rebuke you, but so that you will see that even when you are not paying attention, your body is faithfully sounding the alarm that you are out of rhythm. I also see how much you sit, glued to your chair, to your screen, to the work that never seems to end, while I created your body to move, to walk, to stretch, to let the blood flow like a river that does not stop. I gave you legs to walk, hands to work, a heart to beat strongly, lungs to breathe deeply and fully. Yet your lifestyle is turning them into tools that are rarely used. Muscles that are not challenged slowly waste away. Bones that are not supported grow weaker. Blood vessels that do not exercise grow sluggish in their flow. Then one day you are surprised, asking why you have so little strength, why a few flights of stairs leave you gasping, why you sometimes ache in places that never suffered any blow. My child, your body is speaking up, not to complain, but to cry for help. It is trying to tell you, I was made for life, not for slowly fading away in stillness. What saddens me most is not that you are tired or that your body is growing weaker. What breaks my heart is that you know all of this and still tell yourself you can go on like this a little longer. Deep down, you understand which choices are harming you, staying up late for no real reason, eating and drinking just to fill yourself rather than to nourish, letting your mind drift endlessly in worry and comparison, ignoring small pains because they'll probably go away. You know you are spending your strength faster than it can be restored. You know your current habits are stealing the healthy years I desire for you. Yet you lull yourself with, "Tomorrow I'll be different. One day I'll start taking care of myself." As though you were the master of time. As though tomorrow were always waiting for you, with its doors wide open. My child, every time you delay like this, you are signing off on one more day of erosion, not somewhere far away, but right within the very body that is the temple I have given you. I do not list these things to corner you in guilt, but to gently bring you face to face with the truth, like a father leading you out into the yard to show you the crack in the wall of the house you love. I want you to pause, not to blame yourself, but to begin to have compassion on yourself. When you admit that you have neglected your body, that is not the end of everything. It is the moment when I can start to heal you from the roots. Just as a potter cannot mend a cracked vessel if its owner insists it is still intact, I too am waiting for you to say to me, "Lord, I have not treated your temple as it deserves." That confession opens the way for me to touch the deepest places in you, the places you thought no one could ever understand. I have not come to condemn you. I have come to lift you up and show you the way back. My child, do you remember how many times you have felt a very gentle whisper inside, "Rest a little. Get up and walk around. Don't eat more, you're looking for comfort in the wrong place. Go to sleep. Leave the rest for tomorrow." That whisper is not random, not merely a passing thought. It is my voice speaking to you through your conscience, through your body, through those small discomforts you so often rush to silence with distraction. Each time you ignore that voice, you train yourself to mute me, and then you complain that you can no longer hear me. But I have never been silent. It is only that the noise of hurry, anxiety, excessive entertainment, and work piled over your head has surrounded you like a thick wall. I am still knocking, not with an iron hammer, but with the softest reminders, hoping you will turn back and look. If even now, deep within, you feel a small sting, some recognition, some quiet sorrow, some desire to live differently, that is exactly where I want to begin. I do not demand that you become perfect at once, without sickness, without fatigue, without mistakes. I know you are dust. I know you have limits. What I wait for is a heart willing to listen, a will willing to cooperate. Try speaking to me without ornate words, Lord. I am tired. I know I am hurting myself. Please help me stop. That alone is enough for me to begin working. From that simple prayer, I will slowly teach you how to reorder your rhythm of life, how to prioritize what matters, how to let go of what you thought you could never release. Transformation does not happen overnight, but day by day. If you allow me, I will rewrite the story you are living. You can begin with very small steps that many people consider insignificant. Instead of staying up one more hour to scroll through countless things that bring no peace, you can go to bed a little earlier, as a way of telling your body, "Thank you for serving me all day." Instead of skipping meals or eating in a rush just to be done, you can eat more slowly, more mindfully, giving thanks to me for each bite. Instead of sitting for hours, you can stand up, walk a little, stretch, small acts that show you value what I have placed within you. You will find that with only one habit changed, you create a new space for peace to slip in, for your breathing to deepen, for your mind to grow less restless. These steps may seem very human, very ordinary, But to me, they are holy footsteps, because they are protecting my temple. As your body gradually recovers through those small steps, something wondrous happens not only in your muscles, your heartbeat, your sleep, but also in your gaze and in the way you are present with others. Your loved ones will notice you are less irritable, less tense, more able to listen, more able to offer a gentle smile. Friends will see you no longer as someone always chasing urgency, but as someone fully present in conversation. Colleagues will sense a different steadiness in you, not steady because you are stronger than others, but because you begin to live within the rhythm of peace I give. You will not need to announce, I am caring for my body as God's temple, because that quiet change will be the clearest explanation. And in that way, simply by returning to yourself in a healthy way, you begin to become a living witness, not through speeches, but through presence. I want you to imagine your life as a lamp set in the middle of a home. When you are exhausted, that lamp flickers bright, then dim, its light weakening until it cannot truly illuminate anyone, not even you. But when you let me tend the flame through a rhythm that knows rest, movement, and spiritual nurture, that light becomes steady, warm, and stable. Those who step into the house of your life will feel that warmth, even if you say little. They will wonder why you can remain calm under pressure, why you no longer treat your body the way you once did, why your eyes are no longer as weary as before. And when they ask, you will have the chance to tell them not about how good you are, but about my patience and kindness, the one who did not abandon you in the days you were wearing yourself down, but waited for you to turn back. My child, if I can use a despised woman to stir an entire town, I can also use your own story of restoration to reach the thirsty hearts around you. That is why, my child, I invite you not to hide your battles in the dark any longer. When you dare to be honest about the habits that once wore down your body, about your fears and your procrastination, and at the same time dare to tell how I am slowly pulling you out of them, you are shining a kind of light that dry doctrines can never give. You do not need to stand behind a pulpit, you only need to live truthfully, to walk each day in trust, so that people can see the difference between the before and the now in you. A healthy meal you choose, a night when you decide to sleep early, a moment when you choose to rest instead of running yourself into exhaustion, a decision to say no to what harms your body and soul. All of these are sentences I am writing across your life as a wordless sermon. And many times, that silent sermon will reach people whom spoken words could never touch. And in time, you will realize that the journey of caring for your body, breaking free from procrastination, taking small steps toward healing, and learning to live in peace is not just so that you can be healthier or more okay. It is preparing you to become a tangible source of hope for those in despair around you, your loved ones, your friends, those who are repeating the same choices that once wounded you. When they see that you are no longer wasting away, no longer destroying my temple in you, they will know there is still a way home for them. And in that very moment, my child, you will deeply understand that your life, though once cracked and broken, has become a restored temple, a place others can look at and recognize that God is still living, still loving, and still renewing what seemed to be lost. But my child, when I look more closely into your daily life, I see something very quiet yet dangerous. You are not deliberately opposing me, but you are unintentionally treating your own body, the place I have chosen to dwell, harshly. You think they are only small, insignificant choices, one-time eating just to satisfy your cravings, one night staying up to your heart's content, one extra push to finish that task, one more time bracing yourself to bear the stress without daring to rest. Then all those just once moments gather together and become an entire way of life. You do not realize it, but little by little you are dismantling the temple I entrusted to you, not with hammer and chisel, but with neglect, resignation, and letting yourself be swept along. I see all of this, not to keep a record against you, but to let you know that I am not blind to the weariness you carry, nor silent about what is eroding you from within. I see the times when you stand before food not to nourish yourself, but to escape your emotions. The more exhausted you are, the more your table fills with things that bring instant comfort, yet make your body heavy, your eyes dull, your heart strain. You know some of these foods are not good for you, yet you tell yourself, just for today, I'll deal with it tomorrow. I see you eating in a rush when you are stressed, eating far more than you truly need. Eating not because you are hungry, but because you are sad, lonely, or under pressure with no other way you know how to release it. I created your sense of taste so that you could experience joy, but you have been using it like a blanket to cover a wound that has not been healed. My beloved child, I do not despise you for these things. I am simply saddened that you are turning what was given to sustain you into something that quietly weighs you down. I also see every sip of sugary drink, every highly processed food with little life left in it that you put into your body out of habit. You call it convenient, quick, just to get the meal over with. But inside, your body has to work many times harder to handle substances it was not created to endure for long. Your liver labors to filter, your heart strains, your blood sugar quietly rises and falls like erratic waves wearing down a shoreline. You grow more tired, yet think it is simply because you are weak, and then you push your body through another round of the same cycle. My child, I have never taught you to become a slave to taste or convenience. I want you to rule over those choices, because everything you eat and drink is also a sentence you speak to yourself. Do I honor this temple or not? Then come the quiet nights when it is just you and the cold blue light from the screen. I see your eyes glued to clip after clip, page after page of news, line after line that never seems to end. You call it a bit of entertainment, relaxing before bed. But it is precisely then that the rhythm of life I placed in you is being disturbed, and the brain that should be entering stillness is forced to take in thousands more images and sounds. You turn off the lights later each night while the alarm still rings at the same time. Your sleep is shredded into pieces, and your brain has no room left to sort your memories, your emotions, and the things you have learned. The next day you wake with a head that feels heavy as stone, burning eyes, and a foul mood, not understanding why you are so easily irritated. My child, I do not blame you for turning to a screen when you are lonely or tired. I simply want you to know there is a deeper kind of rest, where I can smooth out the tight strands in your heart if you will put the phone down and let your body be still. I see the way you treat sleep as something optional, something you can cut without consequence. You are proud that you can stay up all night to finish work, to text, to play, to chase what you call opportunities. You think it proves you are diligent, ambitious, committed. But my child, when you keep shaving away your rest, you are cutting into the very time designed to heal you each day. In those hours of sleep, your body is repaired, your immune system strengthened, your brain washed of what is unnecessary and reorganizing what needs to be kept. When you steal that time away, not only does your body grow weaker, your soul also becomes more vulnerable to words, pressures, and temptations. I set the rhythm of day and night into this world to teach you to stop, not for you to try to break it as if it were a badge of honor. I also see the times you let yourself drown in worries until every breath is short and your heart races for reasons you cannot even name. You anxiously project into things that have not yet happened, You cling tightly to memories that have already passed. You blame yourself for old mistakes and believe you will never be good enough. The tension begins somewhere in your mind, but it flows into every fiber of your body, making your shoulders heavy, your neck rigid, your stomach knotted. You think these signs are just habits, just how you are, without realizing they are your body's cry for help. It is telling you it cannot take it anymore. My child, when you let stress rule day after day, you are allowing a false king to sit on the throne in the temple that belongs to me alone. I want to help you dethrone that king so that peace can return to its rightful place within you. I also see the times you seek refuge in things that only give you a brief rush, diversions taken to excess, habits that numb your mind instead of giving it true rest, choices you know will hurt you, and yet you keep trying to justify. You want to forget your troubles, so you lose yourself for a while in things that keep you from having to think. You want to escape the pressure, so you sink into activities that drown out the sound of your own heart crying out. But when that moment passes, you return to a more exhausted body, a more tangled soul, and a temple with a few more cracks. So, my child, when you long to be healed but do not know where to begin with the smallest thing. Turn off your phone a little earlier. Lie down on time. Drink a glass of water. Step outside to see the sun. Or pray in a single breath. These things seem small, but they open the way for new life to flow back into you. For healing is not only for the body, it also softens the heart, clears the mind, and draws you near to me again. Be faithful in what is small, and I will use that smallness to rejoin what has been fractured in your soul little by little, gentle as oil falling upon a wound. Then, as you become familiar with the gentle rhythm of small steps, you will discover that true peace does not always come in absolute silence. It comes through daily choices, choosing to slow down and listen, choosing to stop when your soul is weary, choosing to soothe yourself instead of forcing yourself, choosing to let me lead rather than letting worry drag you along. Healing within you will become an underground stream, slowly soaking into every corner of your heart, making you lighter, brighter, and ready to receive what deeper things I wish to teach you. From here, you will see that peace is not only a final reward, but the very path you walk with me, and that journey will lead you into a new understanding of the needs of both body and spirit. There are times, my child, when I see in your eyes a strange weariness, not the tiredness of work, but the fatigue of a soul that has been striving for too long. You try to remain strong, to appear steady so that no one will worry. But that silence is what slowly lets peace slip away. You keep telling yourself to continue, to push a little more, as if rest were a luxury not meant for you. But I tell you, rest is not weakness. It is the wisdom of one who knows to whom they belong. Peace is not something you must fight to earn. It is a gift I have placed at the doorway of your heart, waiting only for you to open it. My child, the reason peace has been hard to find is not the storms outside you, but the way you have neglected your own spiritual need. You worry about work, about family, about what others think, about a future not yet arrived, and each worry is like a small stone, piling into a weight that presses on your chest. When you live in constant tension, your body tightens like an instrument whose strings are pulled too hard. Your spirit dries up as well. No longer able to hear my gentle breath, you think something is wrong with you. But in truth, you have simply forgotten to step into quietness so that both spirit and body can be revived. I created you to live, not to merely endure unending fatigue. Remember Mary, who chose to sit at my feet and listen, while Martha busied herself with many tasks. Martha was not wrong, yet she allowed work to dim my presence, Mary understood that the soul must be nourished before the hands can serve. I said, Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. You see, peace does not come from doing everything, it comes from choosing what is right at the right time. When you place spiritual life first, your body also learns to rest because the two were never meant to be separated in the design I set for you. So, my child, I invite you to return to the breathing rhythm of peace you lost amid busy days. Learn to pause, if only for a few minutes, so your heart can exhale gently. Step outside and see that the sky is still blue as in the beginning when I created it. Sit in quietness and hear again my voice that has never left you. True rest does not slow you down, it helps you go farther. It does not make you weak, it strengthens the deepest part of you. You do not need to spend all your strength proving your worth, for your worth rests in the love I have for you, a love deep enough to desire that you live in peace, not wear away in survival. And when peace begins to flow again through the hidden passages of your soul, you will recognize something wondrous. Your recovery is not only for you, the light in your eyes, the steadiness in your breathing, the gentleness in how you treat yourself, these will become a wordless testimony to those who are lost beside you. Others will look at you and know that I am still at work in this world, through your quiet yet powerful change. And from that place of peace, you will be prepared to step into a greater calling to become hope for others, like a small lamp that never goes out. You only need to keep your heart soft in my hands. The rest I will complete. My child, have you ever noticed that when there is more peace in your eyes, the people around you also naturally feel lighter in their hearts, even if you do not speak a single word of preaching? The way you live, the way you treat your own body and soul is quietly telling a story. Every time you wear yourself down, you are unknowingly repeating a sad story that you do not see your own worth, that the temple of mind within you is not worthy of being cherished. But when you begin to care for your body, to learn how to rest, to turn away from the things that are damaging the life inside you, that story changes its tone completely. It becomes a testimony that I am still healing. You may not realize it, but every small change in you is rewriting the book that others read each day through your attitude and your face. And I long for that book to become a living testimony, not in theory, but in a life that is truly made new. I know that many times a thought rises in your heart, my life is too ordinary, too messy, too sinful. How could I ever become a witness? You compare yourself with those you consider more spiritual or holier. And the more you compare, the smaller and more unworthy you feel. Then you hide your cracks. You hide your own journey of weakness, afraid that if anyone knew, they would despise you or be disappointed. But my child, those very scars, when they are touched by me, become the loudest proof of grace. People do not need a life that has never stumbled. They need to see a life that has fallen and yet can stand again because of me. Remember the Samaritan woman at the well, who avoided the eyes of others because of her tangled past and her broken relationships. She came to draw water at the hottest hour of the day so that few would see her. Yet at that very moment, I was there waiting for her, speaking with her, touching the deepest place she carried inside. After just one conversation, she no longer hid. She ran back to the town and told everyone, "Come and see the man who has told me everything I have ever done." Her past, which had once been her shame, became the very ground of her living testimony. My beloved child, how many times have you treated your body like an old clay vessel, meant only for temporary use? Never thinking that I poured my breath into it, I watch you spin in circles of worry, driving yourself to exhaustion, telling yourself, just a little more, as though being depleted were nothing. Yet those heavy footsteps speak what you have not dared to admit. You have forgotten to guard the gift I gave you. Each time you skip a meal, each time you stay awake all night, each time you ignore the signs of weariness, you are carving unseen scuffs into my temple. My child, I do not blame you, but I want you to hear this gentle whisper clearly. You are more precious than you think, and so is your body. My child, the deeper reason you treat yourself lightly is not carelessness, but the habit of a world that praises quick success and relentless strength. You have learned to place others' needs above your own, and you have mistaken endurance for sacrifice, for devotion. But I tell you, sacrifice is never the same as self-eroding. When you keep running without rest, you slip into the illusion that you are stronger than you truly are, and when you are so exhausted you can barely pray, you begin to think this is normal. In truth, forgetting to care for your body is what draws you farther from me. Because when you are worn beyond measure, my voice grows faint in your mind. My child, let me tell you the story of the prophet Jonah, who once ran from my calling, worn down until he sank into deep sleep in the belly of a ship facing a storm. Yet even in that storm, I did not rebuke Jonah with anger. I awakened his conscience with truth. It was not my desire that he be crushed, but his running away that drained his body and soul. Then, when he was inside the great fish, with no strength left to resist, I nourished him through quiet time, so that he could regain the clarity he had lost. I still do this for you today, not through tempests, but through gentle reminders in a body that is crying out. And so, my child, I call you to return not to a new list of tasks, but to the truth you cannot serve me while you yourself are fractured. I do not demand that you become strong instantly. I only ask you to take one small step of care. Eat with moderation. Sleep enough. Take a few minutes to breathe and remember that I am with you. When you do these simple things, you are not only regaining strength, you are rekindling the inner light that has faded after long, weary days. I will uphold you, for I rejoice to see you treasure what I have given. Then, as you begin to touch that small restoration, a new awakening will open in your mind. You will realize that caring for your body is not only a practical matter, but also the foundation for hearing me more clearly. Just as a farmer tends the soil before sowing seed, you must also cultivate yourself before continuing the journey of faith. From here you will understand why certain right things must begin now, without postponing even one more day. For the moment you restore your body is also the moment you open the door to the deeper changes I am about to lead you into. My child, there are moments when I see you sitting still, while your mind is tangled like knotted thread, knowing what is right to do, yet hesitating, telling yourself, tomorrow. You do not intend to avoid it, but delay slips in like a thin mist, and you do not notice it stealing your brightest days. Each time you move a right thing to another day, you lose a small piece of the future I prepared for you. I do not accuse you for walking slowly, but I grieve when I see time falling from your hands like sand you cannot hold. My child, tomorrow is not evil, but it is not the place to deposit the most important things of your life. Do you know why you so easily fall into the trap of procrastination? Because deep within, you believe you will always have more time, that tomorrow will be wider, brighter, and that your heart will somehow become strong on its own. But this world does not run on that optimism. Each day has its own weight. And when you postpone what is right, you are only stacking more weight upon yourself. Often you do not delay because you are lazy, but because you fear beginning, fear failure, fear not being enough, fear losing temporary comfort. I understand all those fears, and I do not blame you. But I want you to see that fear grows when you turn away, not when you face it. And the longer you wait, The more delay becomes a chain that holds you still in a journey where you were meant to move forward. Remember the story of Nehemiah, who heard that the walls of Jerusalem lay in ruins and felt his heart torn in two. He could have said, "I will pray for a few more months before I act." But he did not. He wept, prayed, fasted, and asked the king for permission to return and rebuild. Had he delayed, the wall could not have been rebuilt in 52 days, and my people would not have regained courage. Nehemiah did not wait until everything was perfect. He began in the rubble, and I did the rest. My child, that story is not told merely to be heard, but to remind you that beginning today holds more power than you imagine. Therefore, my child, I invite you to lay down the burden of tomorrow and take one small step right now. You do not need to change your whole life in a single afternoon. I only ask you to choose one right thing and do it before the thought of delay arrives. When you clear your desk, when you reopen a Bible that has gathered dust, when you stand up and walk for a few minutes, when you speak the apology you have held in your heart for weeks, that is when a new day begins to enter your life. I give strength to those who dare to take one step, even a trembling one. And as you step forward, you will see doors open lighter, brighter, as if that right thing has been waiting for you all along. When you understand the power of beginning, your heart will become more sensitive to the gentle movements within your soul, movements often hidden beneath delay. And in the very moment you bravely do what is right in the present, you will open new pathways for healing to enter. Just as a seed must be placed in the earth and cannot remain forever in the palm of the hand, so you also must sow a small action into this very moment for life to break forth. From here you will see that small steps, real steps, without display, are the beginning of every change I have long prepared for you. My child, sometimes you think change must come through a great upheaval, a blazing moment strong enough to turn your whole life around. But, my dear one, the healing I give rarely arrives in thunder. It comes in a gentle breeze, in small footsteps you assume do not matter. You wait for a day when you are overflowing with motivation. But motivation cannot sustain the soul as long as the steady faithfulness of small and true actions. I watch you struggle between the dream of change and the reality of weariness. And I want to hold you and say, only one step, my child, for what is wondrous is not in long leaps, but in your courage to begin even with a short step. You easily forget that all my wonders begin with the simplest things, because you compare yourself to those who have gone ahead. You think your small step means nothing. Weariness also makes you hesitate, afraid that your first step is too weak, afraid you will not last, afraid temptation will pull you back into old habits. But my child, if you will only take a true step, not perfect, not grand, I will set my hand upon that step. You have thought you were too weak to change, yet weakness is fertile ground for my grace to grow strong. Your small step will awaken what you believed had died within you, longing, tenderness, and new life. Remember the story of Ezra leading Israel back from exile. They stood amid the ruins of the temple with no resources, no military strength, no support from surrounding lands. Yet, they began with the smallest thing. They built the altar first, and only later rebuilt the walls. They did not wait for enough stones, enough people, or perfect conditions. They did what they could do in front of them, and I guarded them in each step. When that altar was raised, worship returned to my people, and that became the beginning of complete restoration. You see, healing does not begin with circumstances, but with a small and truthful decision. My child, I want you to keep one thing in your heart. I do not expect you to become an ideal in the eyes of the world. I only desire that you be faithful in my eyes. Faithful in honoring the body I have given you. Faithful in not throwing what is right into tomorrow. Faithful in the small steps you choose each day. faithful in seeking true peace rather than chasing noise, and faithful in letting your very life tell the story of me. When you live this way, you not only avoid cracking the temple of God, but you also help rebuild many other temples around you that are close to collapse. And in my eyes, that is a sacred beauty nothing in this world can compare with. Now, in this moment, I invite you to quiet the restlessness in your heart, to steady each breath, and to honestly lift up to me a prayer that rises from the deepest place within your heart. Almighty God, who formed me wonderfully and placed the breath of life within me, today I come before you with a repentant heart. For so many times I have failed to honor the body you entrusted to me. I have taken lightly the signs of fatigue, ignored the quiet cries of my health, and treated myself like a tool that must work without ceasing rather than a temple set apart for holiness. Please forgive me for the times I chose convenience, emotions, and passing cravings instead of wisdom and long-term stewardship. Shine your light upon me so I may see more clearly the value of the body you have entrusted to my care, so that I no longer continue harming myself through old habits. From this day forward, may every small decision in how I eat, rest, and live become a quiet offering of honor lifted up to you, merciful Father, who understands every shadowed corner of my soul. I confess before you that there have been many times I have used food, drink, and consumption to fill the sadness, loneliness, and anxiety within me. Instead of running to you, I ran to things that only brought brief comfort and then left behind an even deeper emptiness. Father, forgive me for seeking consolation at the table more than in your arms. Set me free from dependence on habits that only make me more weary. Place within me a heart that can discern what truly nourishes me and what is slowly wearing me down. So I learn to say, that is enough, to what harms my body. I ask you to restore to me a simple joy in wholesome eating, in caring for my body with gratitude, and in seeking true comfort in you rather than in anything else. Lord Jesus, Son of the living God, I thank you for coming in a body as frail as ours, so you could feel weariness, hunger, thirst, sorrow, and every limitation of human life. I thank you because through your life on earth, I understand that eating, resting, and withdrawing to quiet places to pray is not escaping responsibility, but part of obedience. I praise you for your example, knowing when to stop, knowing how to sleep even amid storms, living with discipline in the body so that the Father's will might be fulfilled completely. Teach me that each time I learn to care for myself, I am also walking in your footsteps, you who lived fully, in body and spirit, before the Father. May this gratitude never leave my heart, so that when I rest, I am also honoring the Lord of the Sabbath. Sweet Holy Spirit, I thank you for not growing weary of my slow change, but continuing to stir me, convict me, comfort me, and guide me on the journey of restoration. I am grateful that you have shown me that a healed life is not only a blessing for me alone, but also a gift you desire to pass to those around me, through me. I thank you for choosing to use someone who has been weak, who has neglected their own body, who has lived in delay as I have, and turning me into a witness of your patience and renewing power. Let this gratitude keep me humble, so that no matter how much I grow, I remember it is all your work. May my whole life, how I rest, how I eat, how I work, and how I share my story, become a living song of thanksgiving offered to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit forever and ever. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong community of faith.